What is up, guys? Welcome back to another fantasy football video. This video we're going to be considering 5 differentials for the upcoming game weeks. So let's just get stuck into it. Okay, so my first differential I've got here is Matt Ritchie. He's 0.3% owned, which is very, very low. Now I know he plays for Newcastle, and Newcastle are not the best side in the world. In fact, they're probably one of the worst sides in the league. But I always like looking for a defender who is kind of like quite creative and can get a goal, and does also on set pieces. So if you're looking for a defender like that, then this is the guy for you. So, I mean, he basically has great creativity, and he possesses a lot of threat as well on goal. So it's essentially the sort of defender that you're looking for in terms of similar to, say, like Trent Alexander-Arnold or Cancelo, but without the kind of the big team name. So he's not playing for a team that's probably going to get clean sheets. But if you're looking for a differential who will get you like maybe an assist, or maybe also get you a goal, and then he's definitely the defender for you. Now, having said that about the clean sheets, if we just have a quick look at the fixtures, he's got Wolves away, Tottenham at home, Crystal Palace away, Chelsea at home, Brighton away, and Brentford at home. Now, they're actually pretty good fixtures. So, I mean, you could talk about how Newcastle aren't the best team in the world, but at the same time, they're not bad fixtures. I mean, I could definitely see maybe two out of 6 clean sheets there, and if he's getting a goal and an assist, which I think that you very much can do, because his stats are very, very good for a defender. I mean, 1.2 shots per game, 2.8 key passes, and 0.2 dribbles over 6 games. That's actually really, really good. He's one of the most highly creative defenders out there. It's just that he plays for an average team. Now, if you remember in the past, Matt Ritchie was actually classified as a winger, but he's actually been classified as a defender now. So he can pretty much play in a right mid or right wing position as well, which basically means he's out of position. So considering all those things, I think he is a great differential. He's 5 million, I think, and yeah, it's not a bad price, about mid price, but I mean, considering there is quite a lot of defenders out there to choose from, probably not your first option, but if you're looking for that really, really differential pick, he's definitely the pick for you. Number 2, I've gone for Raul Jimenez. Now, Raul is basically like, he's a player that I've always owned throughout fantasy football. When he first came into the game, I owned him at 5.5 million, and he was basically like a lucky charm for me. So, I mean, he is a great player. He is one of the best strikers in the league, without doubt. It's just a shame that what happened with that injury to him. So that's one of the downsides to owning him. But at the same time, I think he's bounced back now. Now he's 4.9% owned, 2.7 shots per game, 2.7 key passes, and 1.2 dribbles. And what I notice about that is that he's also a very creative forward, as well as one that takes a lot of shots on goal, which is really, really good. The other thing to notice as well is that he's got really, really good fixtures. Wolves in general have got really good fixtures. So they've got Newcastle at home, Aston Villa away, Leeds away, which is a really good fixture, home Everton, and Crystal Palace away. So there's some really, really good fixtures there. The only downside to owning Raul Jimenez is that Wolves don't look like a team who have quite clicked yet. So they could potentially be one of those teams similar to Brighton last season, where they rack up the stats, they get lots of shots on target, but they're just not finishing their chances. But if they do happen to finish their chances, then they can guarantee that Raul Jimenez will get in the points. Next up, we've got Bakary Saka. You may know Bakary from the last half of last season, where essentially he was one of the highest owned players in the end, and also one of the best budget options because of how consistent he was with scoring points. He was practically the best player in Arsenal's side last season. The only downside was that when he went to the Euros and he came back, he didn't seem fully fit. He seemed like he needed some time to recover, so he's had a bit of a slow start to the season. But now he's back up to fitness and he's at full focus. He's actually got some pretty good stats. He's got 1.8 shots per game, 1.5 key passes, and 0.5 dribbles over 6 games, which is really good. But the thing that I like most about Bakary Saka is how much faith Arteta has in him, and how much faith I have in him as a player as well, because he is so talented. He's just not had the best start to the season, but now with these great fixtures, Brighton away, Crystal Palace at home, Aston Villa at home, Leicester away, Watford at home, and Liverpool away. Now there's 3 home fixtures in 4 game weeks there, which is really, really good for him as well. So I think that he can definitely bounce back, and I think that when he does bounce back, he'll definitely be getting goals and assists. So definitely one to keep your eye on. Next up, we've got Kieran Tierney. Now, Kieran Tierney is one of those players who I would classify similar to Alexander-Arnold or Robertson. In fact, probably more like Robertson because they're both Scottish. But he's essentially a very, very attacking left back. When I first watched Arsenal play this season, he was ridiculously threatening, like in the box, taking shots on goal. He was the most creative and talented and also the most dangerous player in the game. The only downside was that he basically didn't keep up the fitness and he didn't keep up the level, and neither did Arsenal. But he is probably one of their best players in their side. So that's the first plus to note with him. But the next one is that he's 6.3% owned, which is pretty differential. His stats are 1 shots per game, 1.5 key passes per game, and 0.2 dribbles per game over 6 games. And now that's pretty damn good for a defender. But more importantly, I just really like the fixtures, especially for a defender who's creative. I think this guy is probably one of the most important players to own, in my opinion. I'd say I'd probably put him as the most important differential to own if you want to really get ahead. The main reason I say that is because of the great quality fixtures, but also because he's a defender who can get you goals and assists. Now, to me, that screams a double-digit haul, or potentially multiple double-digit hauls. Now, if I'm wrong about that, I hold my hands up, but I definitely think that this guy can definitely haul some points over the next few game weeks. Finally, we've got Jamie Vardy. Now, Jamie Vardy is a fantasy football classic. He basically is a classic version of having terrible stats, but always seems to get points, and most importantly, always seems to get in bonus points. He's 12.7% owned, 2.8 shots per game, 1.2 key passes, and 1 dribbles over 6 games, which is actually really good for Jamie Vardy. The even better for Jamie Vardy, I would say, is his fixtures. So he's got Crystal Palace away, United at home, which for Jamie Vardy is a good fixture, Brentford away, Arsenal at home, which for Jamie Vardy is again a good fixture, and Leeds away and Chelsea at home. Now, he always tends to turn up in the big games, so I would definitely consider him as potentially getting 2 premium forwards. If you're going to go for 2 premium forwards up top, I'll go for Lukaku and Jamie Vardy, and maybe also as my third forward spot, I would obviously go for Antonio. But Jamie Vardy would definitely be a forward spot and also a captaincy option as well because of how good he is on the bonus points. So definitely one to consider, and he's my final differential for this video. Thank you so much for staying tuned for this video. I hope you found it useful. I will be making some more videos in the future, so if you stay tuned for those, but until then, take care.